Hello students, Java programming prerequisite for this course is object-oriented programming through C++. Coming to Unit 1, programming structure in Java, and for this chapter we have two videos, and this is the video 1, and for this chapter we are going to discuss these are the topics related to Java programs. First one, introduction. In this introduction, we discuss the types of programs in Java language. The first one, standalone application programs. These programs are generally created and run on our personal computers or users' computer. We do these type of programs mostly in this course. And coming to the second one, applet programs. These programs are meant to run in a web page using the internet, and we do these type of programs at the end of this course in the applet concepts. And third type of programs are Java servlets. These programs run in computers that provide web services. They are all often called server-side programs, or simply we call them as servlets. And as a student, we do these programs in advanced Java technologies, nothing but web technologies in upcoming semesters. And coming to the second one, writing simple Java programs. And before writing a simple Java program, we first consider one thing that in other languages up to we already know about like C, C++. For most of these type of computer languages, the name of the file that holds the source code to the program is immaterial. That is, there is no particular condition or any particular rule for giving a file name to computer languages that you learn so far C and C++ like. But here in this Java, this is not the case with Java, because we should learn about Java is that the name of you give to your source file is very important. That should be matched with the class that you design in your Java program, which contains main method particularly. So the name of the here, the name of the main class, that means in our Java programs, usually we create program with help of classes, and the class which contains main method, that is called main class. The name of the main class should match the name of the file name that holds the program. So that is, the main class name should be the file name. So it is a mandatory condition in Java for compiling and execution. And here you should also make sure that capitalization of the file name matches even when you have a uppercase letters in the class main class name. So the same uppercase or lowercase difference should be matched with the file name exactly, because the reason for this is that Java is a case sensitive language, and this is a must and should before going to start a design of simple Java program. Coming to this example program, so see here, this one is the comment, and you know that this is a multi-line comment, and this the symbol starts multi-line comment and with this one, and in between the lines the compiler ignores at the time of compilation, and this will be considered as a comment. And in this comment I given just information that the file name sample.java, because in my program there is a class function, there is a class of called sample, and inside this class scope I have a main method and the class name is sample. So that's why I have given the file name as sample.java, and we will see one by one how this class is created, and how this main function is defined and what is the scope and how this logics can be statement designed inside this main function or main method of the class, main class. So coming to here, the class should start with a class keyword followed by class name, and coming to inside this class we have a main method, so we call this class as a main class. And for this main method, so public is the first keyword given here, that it means it can be accessed out of the scope also. And there are some reasons to give this static keyword here. And static means without creating any object we can call this main method. So why we see this process is given like this, public static like. So coming to here, public static void means this is the main method. First where this function begins, this line begins the main method, and at which this only the program will start execution. The public keyword given here is an access modifier or access specifier, which allows the programmer to control the visibility of class members. When a class member is preceded by public, that nothing but main method is now considered as a member of the class. So this member of the class as main method as public, that it means this member may be accessed by code outside the class in which it is declared, that it is outside of the class this main method can be accessed. That's the purpose of giving this public keyword to this main function inside the class. And when we define this main as a inside of the class, then it becomes the member of the class. And this is the structure we follow in Java language usually in our designing of programs. And coming to the static keyword, the keyword static allows main to be called without having to instantiate a particular instance of the class. That it means, as you know that any member of the class, now main method is become a member of the class now, that is called main class. So to access this one, we definitely need to create an instance of that class, nothing but object. But here, so when we start our execution of the program, so our control of execution starts from main method, but main method is inside class, that is a member of the class. Then how can we start execution by without creating an object? So that's why, so here the process of this giving static keyword, this static keyword allows this main function to be called without creating any object or instance of that particular class. So that is the reason here. And this is necessary since main is called by the Java virtual machine before any objects are made. So this the statement is clear. Now the keyword void means it simply tells the compiler that main does not return any value. So we know this point very well from, since the languages we know that C and C++. And main, there is only one parameter that is when compiled that. In main method we have a parameter argument like this, string type argument, and this args is an array of string type. An array is nothing but a group of or a collection of similar objects of the string class. Now string here it is a class, string is a class here, and it array collects some similar type of string objects. And objects of type string store character strings. Usually it collects the um, object type of data in a form of string. String is nothing but a character string. In this case, args is an array of type string receives any command line arguments. Why this argument is given at for this main method is, or any main method, why this main method contains this parameter args string type, that it is because of command line arguments. We can give command line arguments to the program when we require. So for that purpose, the main function contains this argument, and it helps it for giving this command line arguments to the main function at the time of execution. So these are the reasons of this main class function, and definitely that everything is clearly given that. And coming to inside this main function, we just simply written a statement like system.printout, system.out.println. This is a simple Java program. So here system is nothing but it is a class that connects to the console of output stream to perform this print operation with the next line. Print ln. Ln indicates here that is new line. So it simply displays this statement on the screen and goes to the next line. So that is the purpose of this function here. We calling use this system.out.println. As we like this in C language, we know the printf method, and whereas in C++, there is a cout object for output stream class. The same way here also system.out is system is a class and out is a it connects to the stream control to the out stream. And coming to the compile and running Java programs, and before going to this one, we just see the process of how to create a source file, and later we will go for compilation. And before doing this one, I just give the instructions to how this source file can be created in our computer, and later we go for compilation process. And this is the command for compilation javac. When we create a source file, and you know that source file name should be matched with the class name which contains the main method, main class name. And after creating this file and saved as with extension .java here, same .java here, and javac is the command to compile the code of this source code. And later when it has a list of errors, then it again displays it on the console, and we need to modify those and again save and again compile. The cyclic process will already know by everyone. In C or C++, we are doing the same compilation process. Here also the same, here we adopted. When it is successful of this compilation, it generates bytecode, that it is nothing but a same class name, that is file name sample dot class file will be generated here. Dot class file, the file name is same and dot class file will be generated, and with this dot class file contains the bytecode that is going to be execute on JVM of particular local machine. Any type of machine or operating system you can choose for running this dot class file. And we doesn't require this source file to be there in these computer systems. Without that source file, and simply with this dot class file, we can execute our bytecode for getting results of the source code we created for this sample.java. And this is the command, Java is the command to run this one bytecode execution. And I will show you this process uh, clearly here. So first of all, you need to go to any, please go to any directory. So I'm going to directory C. There you can simply create your directory or a folder like this. So now I'm creating new folder with name Java. And remember this one, this is important, and we are going to connect to this directory to execute my files. Okay, so open this directory. Now we are in this directory Java. Now take any text document like this and open this one. And you can simply create any type of class like class space sample is my class name and public static void main, and main we have parameter like string args, and main scope starts here, and here we have a system dot out dot print ln and hello world. Main scope ends and class scope ends, and save as this file with .java extension, but you remember the file name should be main class name, that is sample. So now I'm saving this file, save as sample.java, and once you see this one, close this file and here delete this new document, and this is sample, it's Java file, clearly mentioning that it is a Java file. And now go to the console command, go to your search bar and type cmd, and you will get command prompt, and go to the command prompt. There you already defaultly switch it to current directory C, and before going to the root directory, you can terminate all the directories like here users user1, like anyone whatever you get your in your computer, just type cd backslash cd followed by backslash. When you press enter here, it goes to the default directory C, and there you already know that we created one folder here Java. So to switch to this directory, go to command prompt, type cd space your directory name or folder name Java. When you press enter, then the control console switch to your directory. There you already have one file created, sample.java file, and try to execute this one. When we execute this file, what is the command? javac space file name sample dot java. So when you press enter here, automatically dot class file is generated for this source file. That dot class file is created in your directory there itself. So just observe here by pressing enter. Is there any no errors? The console automatically displays as it is like this. And if you observe here in your directory, one dot class file is created. This contains bytecode of this source code. Then how to execute that one? So what is the command here? Java is the command followed by file name. What is the file name? Dot class file name sample. You just give this sample, right? Capital S, case sensitive, sample, then press enter, it get output. Hello world, hello world. So this is the way of compiling and execution of your programs. And coming to here, come back to here. So this is the process of compiling and running Java programs using console output stream. Like, so to compile the example program, execute the compiler javac. As I told you that this one is here. So javac sample.java. Then this compiler creates a file called sample.class file that contains the bytecode version of the program. And this JVM machine, Java Virtual Machine, and that already we created and we installed JDK, and we will see the process of how this Java development kit installed in our computer system. We'll see in the lab session. I will post the video in the Monday evening, first video of laboratory, and I will show you there how this JDK toolkit will install into our computer systems. Then the output of JVC is not code that directly be executed. We should be interpreted that one, so by using the command Java. To actually run the programs, you must use Java application launcher called Java. So to this one, what is the command here? Java followed by your file name, sample or maybe example. In our example case, sample is the file. So that's why you can follow just Java space sample. When the program is run, the following output will automatically display. This is a simple Java program. So this is the case of compiling and running Java programs, and we will see more on this type of things in laboratory video clearly. Then coming to third topic, elements or tokens in Java programs. Usually Java programs contains these tokens as a collection of tokens like white space, identifiers, literals, comments, operators, separators, and keywords. And we will see one by one. White space, Java is a free form language. This means that you do not need to follow any special indentation rules. And here, without indentation rules, you can simply write your program instructions in the way you like it. In Java, white spaces are nothing but a space that can be you can give by pressing spacebar in your keyboard, and tab or new line. All these three will be considered in Java program as white space. And second type of token of the Java program is identifiers. Identifiers are used to name things like classes, variables, and methods. An identifier may be any descriptive sequence of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers or underscore and dollar sign characters or any special characters like that one. And you know that identifier is nothing but a name to the something we create in our program. Generally, we create the types like user defined types like classes, and sometimes we may create variables and methods. For these only we use this identifier under token of Java program. Some examples of valid identifiers. This will be considered as an something like a variable identifier, like this will be also variable allowed. This is also valid. But invalid identifiers, nothing but we should not start with this number variable. This is not considered as a valid identifier for any type of class or variable or method. This type also is not allowed, and this is also not a valid identifier names to the class or a method or a variable. And coming to the literals, another token, important token of this Java program. Literal nothing but a constant value that we create to represent this one. For example, for any integer value, you have a value of constant like this, then it will be considered as a literal, integer literal, and it is a floating point literal. And we discuss this topic clearly in the next topics. And this is a character literal, and it is a string literal. These are the some examples. Coming to comments, and we know that usually we create some comments in our programs. There are three types of comments in Java: single line comment, and single line comment begin with this two forward slashes and ends at the end of the line. When this symbol encountered by the compiler at the time of compilation, one line completely ignores, and when come to multi-line comment, this type of comment must begin with this symbol and ends with this one, and in between whatever the number of lines you have written or given, the compiler completely ignores in between these two symbols. Coming to the third type of comment in Java is document comment, and this type of comment is used to produce an HTML file that documents your program. This document comment begin with this forward slash followed by two asterisk symbols and ends with asterisk symbol with one forward slash. And these type of comments you will see in web technologies, and there you can create some programs based on HTML concepts or HTML tags. Next one, another important token or element of a Java program is operators. And there are 37 operators in Java we are going to use, but some of the important operators are given below here. So there may be some arithmetic operators, including this increment and decrement operator, logical operators, and are not operators like assignment, various assignment operators, and conditional operator and relational operators, like that. There are some important categorization, and we will discuss these operators as a chapter in unit 1. The third chapter in this unit 1 is belongs to this operator concept. Next one, separators. In Java, there are few characters that are used as separators. It separates the two something in our instructions of a program. The most commonly used separator in Java is a semicolon. Line by at the end of line we can conclude that is the termination of the particular statement. So here in this table we see some of the symbols that are going to be used as a separators in our Java program. Parenthesis mainly, braces and brackets, and semicolon. It terminates the statements in Java program. And we know usually comma, it separates consecutive identifiers in a variable declaration, and it is, we know that integer a comma b, that it means a b are the two type of variables belongs to integer type, and comma separates those two variables of the type integer. And we use this period also sometimes as an separator. It uses to import some packages into our program. We are writing some program packages like import space java dot language dot star, like that, and we can use this period operator for separating a variable or a method from the reference variable. We are creating this period operator to call the methods of the classes using object dot method name, object dot variable name, like that. Coming to the next one, Java keywords. So in Java there are 50 keywords currently defined, and these are mainly used for different purposes, and these keywords cannot be used as identifiers. That you should remember, that thing is very important. We cannot allow to use these keywords as an identifiers to the classes, variables, or methods usually defined in our programs, and they cannot be used as names for variable, class, or method. And this is, and these keywords one individually, they are having individual priority and references and something useful things for in your Java programs. And finally, these are the elements or tokens in Java programs. Until now, we've seen the topics like chapter 1 program structure in Java. Let me go to back contents. So these are the things. Introduction we completed, right? Writing a simple Java programs, and currently we are discussed about elements or tokens in Java. So these are the three topics covered in this video 1, and next video of this chapter we will cover all these topics in video 2. Thank you.